Do you like to play city builders because you're a fan of transportation and logistics? If so, I think you might like the game that we're going to play today, Transport Fever 2. This is a game that folks have been asking me to feature on the channel for quite some time, and after playing it on Twitch back in February, I'm really excited to do so. Transport Fever 2 is a business simulation game where your goal is to grow a successful transportation company, handling both passenger and cargo traffic. And if your company is successful, it will lead to the growth of the cities on your map. The game focuses on the evolution of transportation from the mid-1800s until now and features historically accurate renditions of a variety of modes of transportation that you can incorporate into your company. That includes trains, buses, trams, trucks, airplanes, and ferries. And as you play, you'll progress through time, unlocking new vehicles as technology improves. So if you're a fan of the details, you're going to like this game. Speaking of details, this game is heavy on them. And if you're coming from a city building background and a fan of detailing, there's a little something for you in here too. Look at all of these detailing options. They are outstanding. Best of all, it's available on a variety of platforms, including PC, Mac, Linux, Xbox, and PlayStation. And because it's a few years old at this point, it's often on sale. In fact, at the time of recording, it's 55% off on Steam. And speaking of Steam, it also has Steam Workshop support, so if you're a fan of mods, this game has them and they're easy to install. So in today's video, let's begin a campaign of Transport Fever 2 to learn the game's mechanics and see how fun it is to play. And if you guys enjoy this, we'll make it a short series, very similar to what we did in Manor Lords. And if you're excited to play Transport Fever 2, hit the like button. And if you're not sure yet but are willing to come along for the ride, hit the like button for that too, and let me know how you feel in the comments. Or leave an emoji representing your favorite mode of transportation for the sake of engagement. And without any further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome to Transport Fever 2. There are two different ways that we could play this game. There is both a free game, which is kind of a sandbox mode. It's what we play in the Twitch stream. And then there's also a campaign, which is story-driven and will help us figure out the game's mechanics. So that's what we're going to play today.
Mankind is constantly creating amazing new inventions. Get involved in rapid technological progress and ensure smoothly running transportation in different regions of the world.
First of all, I love that there is voiceover. And it sounds really exciting to be able to get involved in the change through time in different areas of the world.
America, in the midst of the 19th century. In the Nevada territory, where until recently only a handful of buffalo grazed, nowadays it's all hustle and bustle.
Ooh, and we're beginning in the Wild West in the 1800s. We got 10 years of progress in this challenge, and we are in Nevada. So I believe that this is directly east of Reno, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this area looks like and to progress through this time period.
Welcome to uncharted territory, newcomer. Want to get rich? Then you're in just the right place. Gold rush fever holds sway in Virginia City. And you lucky devil, you've won the mining rights for a promising claim in a poker game. The Red Dog Saloon. Soon, you'll be hauling out gold nuggets as big as a cat's head. Thanks to cleverness and luck at cards, you have a gold mine all your own. The former owner, a gallant saloon by the name of Susie, who plays a lousy hand of poker, already took care of the groundwork. And a practical woman, she left the necessary equipment behind, too. Now all you have to do is to find the mine. Get an overview. Find out where the riches lie.
So there's a couple of things. First of all, this game is beautiful. And second of all, I don't know who this voice actor is, but I absolutely adore him already. So the very first thing we need to do is learn how to use the camera. It's pretty standard fare. It's a lot like Cities Skylines. If you've used that, you can figure this one out as well. You use the SAD W keys to move around the map. And then the camera works much the same as in City Skylines. I did have to invert it though, because it is backwards from what I'm used to. So now we have to discover the entrance to the tunnel, and I'm guessing it's where this gigantic question mark is. Winner, winner.
What a promising claim. Even though only a few boulders have been mined so far, that's no reason to lose heart. You'll just have to dig deeper. You ought to get hold of some solid timber from the nearby forest, so that the fine shaft doesn't cave in. The beams will be excellent for stabilizing the tunnel. Build a station where the horse carts can be packed with logs.
That is so optimistic. I love that. So we have to build a truck station first in the highlighted area. Guessing, I wonder if I click on that. Brings me right to it. So Let's close that up for a second. So the truck station is a place where one of your vehicles can actually collect goods. So we're going to place that right here where it's telling me I can. And I have a little bit of flexibility here. I can kind of smooth it around back and forth, and it'll make that connecting local road to what is our collector right here.
Explain to the sort of thick-skulled driver which route he should take.
Whoa, that is aggressive. All right, we are going to build a new line using our line manager. And it's as simple as clicking new line. And then we have this little icon right here. This is where we will add a stop to our station. And then there is another one right over here. We'll add to this one as well.
Now, there's got to be a small depot to park the horse-drawn carts too.
Okay, so these are horse-drawn carts. So we got to add our depot right here in the highlighted area. Now we have a depot right here. And let's get this thing placed.
Everything's all set. Now, all you have to do is to get hold of a cart to transport the wood.
So I think what they're asking us to do is actually buy a vehicle to travel on this route. So all I have to do is click on the depot and then click buy vehicles. And we've got two options, a horse-drawn carriage or an American horse-drawn carriage. It looks like the main differences are the amount of power that they have and the cargo type that they can hold. So the top one is for people. You can see right there, cargo type people. Second one, cargo type wood. So this is what we need. We're going to buy this for $23,890. That is oddly specific.
A sturdy vehicle. The transport can get started.
So now we need to allocate a vehicle to the line. So we'll go into our vehicle manager. And I just want to assign this vehicle to line 1.
It won't be long before it's possible to dig deeper. Well then, good luck.
So now we have to wait until the horse-drawn cart has delivered logs to the mine. So we'll get the game moving, and here is our horse-drawn cart, which is awesome. Now, one of the exciting things is you can click on the vehicle and actually see what's happening here. And if I click on this little icon right here, I can actually enter the cockpit and get this beautiful first-person view, which I adore. I mean, this is absolutely awesome. Would you look at the detail here? We've got businesses in these small buildings, trees outlining the streets, lights. This is gorgeous. I love the cobblestone streets, the sidewalks, the people walking around. It's really, really attractive. Now, this game came out in 2019, so the first time I played it, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I mean, it's not that long ago, but things have really progressed. But this game holds up. It looks absolutely outstanding. And here we go. We've delivered our wares.
Ha! Not everything that glitters is gold. Maybe your poker partner was sharper than you thought. Despite all the hardship, the mine only brings in a few chunks of silver ore. At best, you ought to get rid of it before it ruins you. Luckily, new greenhorns constantly get stranded in Virginia City, who you can peddle that confounded pit to for good money. So, you got rid of the silver mine for a decent amount. Time to invest this money in a lucrative venture. And there's an excellent opportunity. All the ore from the mine must be transported to the silver mills down by the river. A railroad that takes over the transport would be a promising venture.
Ooh, we are going to get to build railroads now. So we need to build a cargo station right here. And we've got two options. We've got a train depot and the cargo terminus station. My guess is this is what we build first. And then we rotate this with N and M. And if I hold down shift, it gives me more fine-grained movement. Now, a couple of things I'm noticing right now. It's too long. It says set the length to 120 meters in the settings. So that's right down here, bottom right. I can say 120 meters. And now it does fit. It kind of snaps right into place too. And then you can see that it's attached to the road because this building right here turned white, which means that it's within the range of this building. If you're away from it, you won't see that happen. It's like that with all the vehicles, which is really helpful in figuring out where your placement is.
The terrain is treacherous, requires a few very twisted curves.
So we've got some interesting terrain, so we're gonna have to respect the topography, which is something I can appreciate. Connect the open ends of the track at Devil's Pass, Skull Rock, and Washington Hill. So let's see where those are. Right here. So we'll go underneath tracks and we will just try to connect up these ends here. So for this, all you do is click and hold it. And it looks like it's going to put the tunnel in for us. Hit the blue check mark here and it's built. Easy as pie. Look at that. It sets the radius for you. So if I wanted this to be a looser radius, I wonder if there's anything I can do to change that. Not in the tutorial. But the interesting thing about this is you can see the speed limit around here. So I have this set to miles per hour. So we're looking at 30 to 31 miles per hour around this curve. Not very fast, but especially out west, that's what you see. When I went on an Amtrak, it was really slow in some of the areas because of how treacherous the terrain is. And then our final connection is right here. Now this one is interesting because of the angle, and I'm wondering how it's going to compensate for this. Oh, it's just so easy. Just made that nice gentle curve for me.
Build a railroad route that rapidly transports all the ore to the valley.
So they want me to build a route, but I want to admire the work that's been done here. That is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And I love that I didn't have to fiddle with this at all to make it look good. Just outstanding. So now we're back to creating a route. So for this one, we'll create a new line. I think we can just select Virginia City. And we need to find where this goes. And we're going to Carson City, which is a city I mentioned in the intro.
A respectable railroad calls for a proper railroad yard.
So now we're building a railroad yard, which makes some sense. Interestingly, though, they want it placed way over here. And that makes me wonder if we need roadway access to this or not. So that's again under buildings. And here is our train depot. I'll shift this around. I'm holding down the shift button and hitting M to have fine grained movements. Now I can see that it's changing the terrain as I move. It's demanding that this is flat, which I appreciate.
A truly well done structure. Now it just needs to be connected.
And I don't think it cares if I have a road to this or not, which I think might drive me crazy. So I don't know if I should just draw a road or not, but we'll just play the way they want me to. So we have to connect the depot to the tracks, and too much curvature until we get it out here. And the more I bring this out, the faster we're able to travel on the route. And I don't know if you want to travel fast from your depot to your stop, but why not?
It's high time to buy a beautiful locomotive together with a few freight cars.
All right, we get to buy a train. So we'll select our depot, buy a vehicle, and we've got 3 options available to us. So I think that the first option is the actual locomotive, and then we have our cars that we can have behind it. So we know that we're going to want the Baldwin 6 wheels. That's the only locomotive that we have available. Oh, wait. We've got a couple options. Oh, none are available in this time period. So just our steam locomotive, we'll add that. And now we've got to add some wagons to our train, and we've got 2 options available to us: the passenger car, which obviously is not what we need, and the gondola. So we've got to add 3 of these to meet the requirements. So we'll add 3 really quick. And that is almost $1 million. We are, that's a lot of money, but I guess we have some, so we might as well spend it. Now it does give us our aggregate capacity, the speed that we can go. 25 is pretty slow, mediocre in terms of our power utilization. So let's buy this.
What a handsome iron horse. Time to send it on its maiden journey.
Now we have to assign this to our route once again. Easy enough. We go to line 2, which I think we can rename. So we'll make this Virginia City to Carson City. And for the first one, we'll make that lumber mill to silver mine. And now that we've got these renamed, let's go to our train depot. We'll grab our new train and we will assign that to the route.
Ore transport is picking up speed. With a little luck, it'll make you richer than all the silver in Nevada ever could.
And there we go. We now have a train. I think we need to go for a ride. Check this bad boy out. And it looks like we didn't totally respect the topography, but we tried our best. And if we hit the H button, we could even sound the horn. That's pretty cool. And now we just need to transport some silver from our mine over to Carson City. So let's just take in the sights and the sounds a little bit. Would you look at this? This is, first of all, the I'm a little bit afraid of heights, and I kind of get that emotion right now, but it just looks so darn good. Really outstanding. And wow, is this narrow? Holy cow. You know, it's funny. As we ride this, I realize I set the last line up so that we could go 55 miles per hour, and the max speed of this is 25. So I was trying to increase the speed around this curve. It didn't matter because we're going 25 on this train. Now, obviously, future-proofing is nice, but you can always rebuild track if you have to. And now the part that I think I'm the most excited about, we've got this crazy bridge coming up here, just beautiful, and I can't wait to see it. Maybe it's not quite as dramatic when you're on it. Here we are rolling into Carson City in 1865. And holy cow, what is that big thing at the end? I absolutely love the way these stations look, though. Just like the fact that they're labeled, all the detail. Man, I just can't get over how good the game looks, the foliage. It's really outstanding. So that must be the mine where we're going to smelt it down into something usable.
Thanks to your railroad, silver smelting is moving fast and furious. Meanwhile, all sorts of fine ladies and high-class gents get off in Carson City. Make sure they don't ruin their good shoes on the muddy streets. Find out about the needs of your future passengers.
Okay, so they want us to take a look at the land use layer, and it sounds like we may be adding a passenger train to this route at some point in the future. So we'll activate the land use layer up here. Okay, so with this layer, we can see where we have residential, industrial, and commercial. So green are the residential, blue are the commercial areas, and then our industrial is in yellow. So if you played City Skylines, very familiar to you. So they're saying we want to build a bus stop at each of the highlighted areas. And I love that it's really mixed use. So this is going to work just like the last two modes of transportation. So we've got a bus or tram stop. So we'll click on this and add that to these three areas. So the first one is our residential district. And let's see, when you zoom out, you can see the area that will be impacted. The road coverage, you see where it's dark there? That is where people will actually come from to board this. And then the other thing is when you zoom in, you see this little arrow, and that shows you the side of the road that it's on. So I'm going to place one going towards our residential district. So I'm going to place one going towards our commercial area. And then we'll place one right here in our commercial area, pointing towards our industrial district. And then lastly, here in our industrial district, we'll place one on the same side of the road. I'm going to face this away from our commercial district, figuring that we're going to loop around. Now, the real question is, do we want to place it here or here? And it looks like we actually want to place it here because we'll be able to access more of our existing businesses. For future proofing, though, we might want to place it here because you can see that we could expand to other parts of this industrial area.
Make sure your coaches don't miss any stops.
So once again, we are going to establish a new transportation line. So we'll add this new line here and go to our first bus stop, our second stop, and our third one.
Build a depot where the horses can be hitched up and the coaches can wait.
Now it's time to build our bus depot. And that's going to be just another road depot. So this is the exact same one that we built over in Virginia City for our cargo. Now I'm wondering, it doesn't tell us where we have to build this. So I'm just going to place it maybe right here. And I'll rotate this around as I see fit. I think we'll go right here.
Purchase a few coaches with horses so that you can get started.
And we will buy a couple of coaches for this. So buy some vehicles. And for this one, we will want to buy the horse-drawn carriage. And I think we can just go 3 right away. 71,000 purchased. And now we just need to assign those to the route. So I will select all of these and assign them to line 1.
Great. First passengers are already waiting.
Now they're leaving the depot. I want to rename that line. We'll make that the Carson City bus. I don't really know what you call it when it is horses. And let's check this out. We've got to transport 5 passengers within Carson City. And here we are on our horse bus. And we have to transport 5 passengers. Let's see. We can honk this too. I guess we're revving up our horses. And it looks like we got a bonus task while we were riding the bus. A monstrous beast. The Territorial Enterprise reports a beast is up to no good in the area. According to eyewitnesses, it leaped from tree to tree, was at least 10 feet tall, had a shaggy black pelt, and enormous feet. So, Sasquatch. Ask the reporter what it's all about. Yeah, we'll do that.
The reporter, a certain Mr. Clemens, has revealed his source to you. An old good-for-nothing by the name of Sam Hawkins. He's supposed to be in the saloon in Virginia City. Could be it means buying him a couple of shots of hard liquor before he comes up with the truth.
So we have to go over to Virginia City for this one. And we're still waiting for our passengers to be transported, so I see no harm in this. So we'll come back over here. Big question mark. That must be the saloon.
The good man was happy to provide information. The monster got a few feet taller with each whiskey you bought him. Word has it that it gobbles up whole cows and picks the remains out of its teeth with a wagon tongue. Our informer thinks it's hanging around near the Ponderosa Ranch, if he's not mistaken.
So now we're going to a ranch. Where is the Ponderosa Ranch? Way over here. So, oh, this is up by a nice little lake. I like that. And I want to just take a look at the ranch before we click on this. Very, very nice. Completely empty, though. That's curious.
Old Cartwright and his son didn't take too kindly to your visit to the Ponderosa Ranch. Apparently, you're not the first to be hot on the monster's heels. The rancher claims that dozens laid siege to their land, but just when he was about to run them off, they hurried away towards Lake Tahoe with a paper hot off the presses in their hands.
So now we're going to Lake Tahoe, which, oh, that's what lake this is. It's Lake Tahoe. Interesting.
Where not too long ago there was nothing more than a dreary two-bit town. A magnificent little city now flourishes, thanks to your transportation services. The locals even call it the Miracle of Carson City. More and more people want to try their luck there. Obstacles shouldn't be put in their way. Get into the passenger business. Your tickets will be the hottest item in town. Make sure that the rest of the world is finally connected to Carson City, a veritable boom town.
So they want us to focus on Carson City passenger service, but I am completely into finding Bigfoot for just a moment. So let's look at the house on the lake.
The Territorial Enterprise reports. The wild man is dead. His body was committed to the waters of Lake Tahoe, where it will sink to a depth of over 600 feet. Be encased, motionless in a block of ice, and shrink to the size of a small child due to the high pressure. Well, guess not much can be done about that.
Okay. I don't know what the point of that task was, but it was very interesting. So let's go back and connect up Carson City to Reno. So for this one, we're going to be adding a brand new passenger stop. So we're going to add a train. So we are going to add a passenger train terminus station. And we have to align this to the marker. Simple enough. I got it backwards. Just for me to call this easy and then struggle with it. Must be connected to a road. So I can just use eminent domain, but oh my goodness, look at the cost of the station. So 360,000 if I remove the buildings. If I don't, it's just a fraction of that. So I'm wondering if I can build a road, and I can't right now. I know it's an option in the future, but it is not an option for me right now. So eminent domain is what we are going to do. But I want to take as little as I can, and that one building's probably it. Let's see. Maybe I can rotate this perfectly to not use any eminent domain. No, it is going to take that one building, but one is much better than two. And it's like a small shed. We're not going to worry about that. And now we'll build our track, and then after that, we will build our depot. So for our track, you can kind of see the area that it's telling us to build in. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really wish that I could turn on the contour lines. I don't believe that I can do that yet, so we are just going to roll with whatever it comes up with for us. So we'll select onto the back here and try to find a route that is inexpensive. So it looks like down the center here is relatively flat, or at least I assume it is because it's cheap. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good. So we'll take this in a couple of segments, one right there. And then our next one, let's see. If we get nice and level, we can kind of see what's going on. There's our next segment. And now I don't want to get too close to the edge here. So I think we'll just go relatively straight. And then we should be able to wrap things up from here, I would assume. So we'll just hold right here to here. And it does the work for us, the perfect curve.
Buy a train arrangement that brings people from all over the world to Carson City.
So we need a depot and 3 passenger train carriages. So I'm going to place the depot. I know that we don't need to do this, or it didn't seem like we need to, but I want to place this off from a road just to see what it does. So we'll grab our train depot, and I'm just going to rotate it like this on the side of the road. And then we'll grab our tracks and make a nice connection right in it. I just love the way that it handles this. I'm so bad at rail that this is outstanding. Now I wonder, though, we are going to be sending a train away from us first. Should we do this? Not an option. Too much curvature. So we'll go this way. And now we'll go into our depot and buy a couple of vehicles. And I'm going to select all. We'll add our Baldwin 6 wheels and then passenger train cars behind it. We need at least 3. This will give us a capacity of 42. And again, our top speed will be 25. Buy this for $1.5 million. Holy cow. We are just burning through money now. We're losing so much.
Time to inaugurate the line from Reno to Carson City, the town built on silver.
Now we have to create a line between Carson City and Reno at the existing train station there. So in our line manager, once again, select Carson City, head over to Reno, select that one. And then before we hop out of here, let's rename this. And now we just need to assign vehicles to that route. So we'll go to our Carson City train depot, select that train, which I guess we can rename this train if we want as well. So we will add our name right here. And while we were doing this, we got another bonus task. So it's setting up another train route. I don't know if we're going to do that one. Let's assign the Carson City train to our Carson City to Reno route.
We're off and running. Everyone is dead set on riding your beautiful railroad.
And we once again have another train. We just need to get 20 people to ride this route. Now, I'm really curious. I'm going to speed this along because I want to know what the train's going to do. Is it going to pull forward and then reverse? I don't even know if that's possible on one of these older trains. And it's going straight to Reno, which is completely fine. Let's take a look at that bonus task. So Ponderosa Ranch, that's where we were with Bigfoot. There's firewood up in Glenbrook that'll get the steam engines in the Silverworks puffing real nice. But watch out that the paths don't get crossed with the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa Ranch. They're not the kind of folk to tangle with, okay? So we'll accept that.
You barely got away from the Cartwright boys. Now get a respectable load of logs down to the valley as fast as possible before the ranchers come back again.
So we have to deliver logs from the ranch to the timber supply. So let's see, the ranch is right here. So now I kind of want to understand the context of what we're doing. So the Ponderosa Ranch is up here. That's where we're going to be bringing the logs. And the timber supply is right here, the Carson City firing furnace. So there's already a truck station right here. I think we just need another truck depot up here. And then we'll also need a road depot to be able to bring things back and forth. We already have one. So all we need is a truck station up here. And I wonder how far away I can get this. We want to make sure it's hidden. And I'm super stealthy. We'll put it right there. And now let's go back to our road depot. We're going to buy a vehicle. We need a cargo horse-drawn carriage. I'm just going to get one. Make that the Carson City lumber hauler. We're going to assign that to a route that we will create in just a moment. This will go back and forth between this station right here and this one. And that'll be the Carson City lumber hauler. And then we'll just assign that vehicle to the lumber hauler route. And that should do the trick for us. We can see that it is now rocking and rolling from our road depot. So now, interestingly, it's kind of just a waiting game for both of these missions. Now, interestingly, we just dropped a bunch of passengers off from Carson City to Reno, and we made some money. And for just a moment, we actually had earnings that weren't completely atrocious. So it looks like we're doing something right.
Thanks to the supply, silver ore processing is running at full swing. which means your transport business too.
All right, we made some money from hauling those logs, which is outstanding. And it's fun. I like having those little side missions while you're waiting for the main thing to occur, because in this game, there is a fair bit of that. And there are really two minds that you can have about that. I appreciate that it causes me to kind of slow down and just kind of enjoy the scenery that we're creating right here. But I know that for some people that could feel a little bit slow. So, it's nice to have the option to take those missions on if you want to. And look at that, $210,000. We are in the positive for the very first time. That is really exciting. Now we're approaching our stop in Reno, and that should get us to complete this mission.
Silver business is doing splendid. The cluster of pathetic shacks has become the swankiest town in the whole West, where you find the most exquisite shops, the best saloons, and the loveliest ladies of ill repute far and wide. Many an opportunity suggests itself to spend those silver dollars you so richly deserved. Your railroad business is the real gold mine in the state of Nevada.
And that is outstanding. So that was a ton of fun. That's the first mission complete. You can see that there are 3 side missions. We only got 2 of them, so I'm a little bit curious about what Enjoy a Ride was, but you can now go back to the main menu to find another mission or continue playing if that's what you want to do. So I like that it gives you both options. And interestingly, I wanted to hop back in and see if we could do this final mission, and indeed we do have it. It's right here, right on the side. Fabulous fun. Yes, the deed is done. Your first train is rolling down the line. People are dropping everything to cheer for the marvel of your engineering. Don't pass up the chance to climb aboard and give them a friendly wave. I've already done that, so sure. And all we have to do is hop in here and use the cockpit camera, which we've already done, so.
Hooray! There's no end to the rejoicing. It's all thanks to you.
No end to the rejoicing, all thanks to me. There we go. Completed that bonus task. Feels really good. We've completely done this. Exemplary student, that feels good. That achievements feel good. And with that, I think that we're going to leave it here today. I'm really curious to know what you think about this game, if you're excited to see this on the channel. I'm going to be honest with you and say I really enjoy it. I think it's one of those games that's super laid back and just allows you to kind of take in the atmosphere while also having a complex enough simulation that you can min-max things. Now, I will let you know, if you play in the sandbox mode, there's a whole bunch of detailing options that you can do right around your train depot and things like that. You can plant trees, add fences, all sorts of things. Hopefully I'm showing a little bit of B-roll right now so you can see that. It's really, really good. So definitely, if you're thinking about getting this game and you're on the fence, just know that it's on sale right now. I'm not being paid to say that. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just wanted to let you know because it is a fun game, and I think that for a lot of people that like city builders, you might like this as well. So one of the reasons that you might want to continue playing on this, for instance, though, is because you could progress through time, watch these cities grow, because as your company gets more successful, the cities do as well, which I think is a really outstanding thing that this game can do. And I think that we're gonna leave it here. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And I really wanna know down in the comments what you think about this video and this series. If you like it, I'll continue to make them. If you're not interested at all, let me know that too, because really, I make these videos because I enjoy making them, but I also wanna make things that you want to see. So your feedback means a lot to me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.